Hey, what's up? Had a deep nerdy thought about mushrooms and fungi in general. I really do. I think fungi are playing the long game. If you think about it, we eat them, we grow them, we spread them around. Animals, us, people, humans, everything on Earth. And right now it's not a big problem. You know, uh, if anything were to change, hypothetically, like the moon going away, mushrooms that have already spread out in their tiny little pockets, seemingly symbiotic with the environment, would no longer be kept small. Now, hear me out. Without the moon, there is no convection currents in the ocean. If you didn't know that, there would be no wind. The heat moving throughout the ocean, going up and down, causes the winds across the earth. So, if there is no moon, then the conversation changes. The fungi could possibly once again return to be one of the more dominant life forms on the planet. Granted, the lack of convection currents in the ocean being the main driver of their large growth. My theory. The reason fungi could grow to be the size of trees or bigger back then, again, was likely because there was no moon. The Earth was just a giant swamp world, good for giant swamp monsters and giant fungi before the moon. I really don't know if people should be eating mushrooms. I really don't. They're fine now until the environment changes to favor them over us. Just saying, it's a wild thought, but it could happen. I mean, it would happen if the moon were to go away. But then you have other strangeness in the fungi community, happening right now with certain strains evolving to be okay under warmer and wetter conditions, or warmer and warmer conditions. Particularly, we're seeing two different strains of fungi being able to infect people right now, humans. Usually they die off in the human body because we're just too hot. But of course, these are popping up in rash type symptoms in over 17 states. And uh, I don't know the name of them. You can Google it, the two different types of fungi that are, infecting people. You probably wouldn't remember the name even when I talked about it. But basically, you'd have to be immunocompromised, as I understand it, for them to currently infect people. But let these traits continue to evolve and see what happens. I mean, I don't think the Last of Us type stuff is going to happen anytime soon, even if the moon did go away. But these large funguses, that we see in the fossil records that used to be the size of trees, I wasn't around back then to measure them, but use your critical thinking here. If you have a fungal stalk the size of a freaking tree that reproduces with spores, it's not going to be great for mammals and the respiratory systems and stuff. So that's why I think maybe fungi in general are playing the long game for evolution. And, it might just turn out to be a more successful evolutionary adaptation than intelligence. We'll see, or maybe we won't see. But it's interesting. Deep, nerdy thought. End rant.